Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about XRP. Why am I holding it? Let's find out. So hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, subscribe, hit the bell button, like, comment. Also, no fighting in the comments please, because this is probably going to be fun. Often I see people scrabbling about XRP, Bitcoin, etc. Personally, I don't care. It's like the Xbox versus PlayStation. Whether you back it or not is another thing. Now I'm going to explain why I have a little hold in XRP. We'll go over it in a little bit of detail in terms of my mindset, my mentality as an investor. No emotion. Don't care. Simple as that. Too many people that squibble and squabble and fight over assets are emotional. Simple as that. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Chainlink, Tezos, freaking anything, right? If you're emotional to it, you're not going to see the realization of profits. So, what is XRP? Obviously, we know pretty much. If you're in this space, welcome. Obviously, if you're new to the space, obviously, welcome. You know, XRP, it is a digital asset that is pretty much the pinnacle of payments as it stands in current technology. It is fast, it is cheap, borderless stuff. It's got some decent, track record of pumps, and I'm going to come on to those in a bit. But it also has controversy as well, as we know with court cases, and I'll come on to those in a second. But as you can see, it is built for payments. Obviously, there's other things that I don't want to go into in this video because I cannot be asked, which is basically the Ripple Labs, the escrow, etc. I'm not going to talk about those. But I want to talk about the fundamentals of investing, use case, and past behavior. There you go, simple. Now, I have about 5% of my overall portfolio as XRP. Simple as that, right? Not a huge bag, but enough to make me happy if we go boom. If we boom, right? If we boom. I think, in my honest opinion, not financial advice, the risk of not having a little bit is why not? Just go for it. I think it's too risky not holding it, in my honest viewpoint. I think it's nice to have a little bit just in case adoption comes. Why? I feel and I believe, and this is again not financial advice, people who understand that money is cryptocurrency will use XRP. Why? It's the easiest to set up. It is the fastest to send to someone. It is the fastest to show people that it works very, very similar to Visa. It is very, very cheap. Bitcoin, on the other hand, in my view, love it to bits. It is the fucking king. Quote me on that. It is slower. People don't want to spend it as much as other coins because it's got a different scarcity factor. You've also got the element of cost. It's a bit more costly compared to XRP, but on another day, doesn't matter. Anyways, the reason being, when I look at Fiat Link here, Fiat Leak even, you can see how much has actually been moved around with XRP. It's quite a lot. Whether all of that volume is correct or not, I don't care. But there is a genuine use case for faster, more efficient payments, speed, moving money around. I often use XRP to move stuff around because it's a lot faster, in my honest view. It's very, very easy to swap over to XRP and go, I want it gone quickly. That's what I do, personal opinion. But let's talk about the realism of investing. Investing is obviously risky, we know that. All altcoins in the world is literally an experiment. Let's be honest, they're just small companies. Let's just not beat around the bush here. XRP could fall over tomorrow. It could. Bitcoin could completely fail tomorrow. It could. It's like anything you invest in. It could go wrong. However, XRP, I feel, has got a good amount of time in. It has a good amount of people at the front of the ship. It's got some decent partnerships, and it has a decent track record. It also has a bad past as well with certain things. I'm going to come on to that right now. A lot of people draw negativity towards the lawsuits, which is fair enough, right? But I do think that the stuff like lawsuits and stuff isn't really much of a hindrance when you consider the great grand scheme of things with cryptocurrencies of what we are actually playing in. We are playing in a decentralized field where we are against everything. Everything is against us, let's be honest. The banks, freaking everything, right? Just think about it. Everything is against us anyways, overall. So obviously you got, all kinds of stuff of Ripple CEO Brad Gardenhouse of violating the security laws of selling and marketing. However, there's something in this article that's really interesting. So when you look through it, all the documents are there. You can crack on and have a read of them. But one thing I will say, this is mainly to do with marketing more than anything. Marketing and false advertising and unfair competition laws. However, I think they're just going down a wrong rabbit hole in my view. When you read the article, when you look at the reports, I don't think this is going to stick at all in my personal view. When you start looking at all this kind of stuff here, Ripple and Ripple Labs, especially XRP, all the things linked to it, have had lawsuits for a long time. As you see here, from May 2018. So it's been a while. But the seeking damage and legal costs, one of the stated goals was to recognise that XRP as a security. However, an amendment filed on the 25th of March suggested he was hedging his bets on the possibility that the court may not acknowledge it as such. So, there's been plenty of articles out there saying it's not a security. Yeah, it's also been put in court it is not a security. But a lot of people are trying to use the fact of unfair marketing in the past to kind of label it as that, to kind of get them to go down another rabbit hole, another alley, which is also very, very damaging. But overall, what I will say is, as I said before, I think it is more risky not investing in the likes of XRP when you consider the world in terms of adoption, in terms of where things will go in retrospect. You got Bitcoin, you got Ethereum, you got XRP. They're all very different beasts in their own right, and they should be labelled as different elements. We know that. Obviously, Bitcoin, the way it works, the scarcity, the mining, it's chalk and cheese to anything pretty much in the industry right now. It's the old school generation. Ethereum, decentralized blockchains, it's going to be going over to POS soon. It's going to be a different entity in terms of what it will bring to the table in terms of allowing other blockchains to use it faster, more efficient, etc., etc. XRP, though, is the lone beast, in my view, that could be used as the bridge between everything in terms of the internet of value, the way it all kind of ties in together. That is where I think the value proposition is, and why I'm putting a little bit of money into that, just in case. If it takes off, yay. If it doesn't, whatever, doesn't matter. Small amount of money, a little bit of loss. There is a lot worse things you can put your money into, trust me on that. But let's just end this with looking at the chart. Now this here is the daily chart. This is not a long-term chart. This is a Bybit chart, by the way, so the date is pretty limited. But I do feel that there's more opportunities to invest in this. My personal viewpoint, anything below 20 cents for XRP isn't too bad. When you look at the grand scheme of things where it's been in the past, it could go a lot lower, obviously, we know that. But when you consider where it's been in the past, and if I just go to the weekly chart here, now this again, as I say and I repeat, this hasn't got much data on there. This is all I've got, right? But this has been up to $3.30. It pumps randomly. I remember it in September 2018 where it went from like 30 cents to like 80 cents in like a day. It was absolutely crazy. The way it moves randomly, and it does make you money. Look at this as an example on the weekly. You got 18 cents and it wicked all the way up to 34 cents. That isn't a bad little gain in retrospect when you look at the overall market. You've got to think in realism terms. Realism terms is, how am I going to make money? The starting point of that is you buy it low. You buy technology that looks decent, that could work, has a use case, has a decent team. XRP fits all those status quos. The only thing it doesn't fit is the hatred. The hatred of other communities that don't like it. Obviously XRP community obviously soak it up and give it back, which is fair enough. But you've obviously got the lawsuits and all kinds of other overshadow stuff with the high supply. All kinds of stuff with the way it works and stuff. Big thing for me, and I will repeat this, I think if we have a chance of adoption, as in mainstream use, XRP is more likely to be the one that could deliver it faster than any other coin out there, in my personal opinion. I think they're ahead of the curve. I think the relationships they've got with the banking systems and the bank enrollments, I think that is a very, very big thing, and it's got people to take note that cryptocurrency is a thing that can be used. We're not talking about price here, we're talking about use case. We're talking about, the way I talk about it is, a lot of the prices that people want may never ever happen, but what will happen is use case. People might use it. XRP may never go over $1 again. May never go over $1 again. Is it still a good investment? In my eyes, yeah, because it could go up and down, up and down, up and down forever. You could still make money on those investments. You've got to look at the stock market. Certain stocks are just a well-run company. They don't moon, they don't shoot to the stars, they don't make loads of money. It all depends on the investor and what the company are trying to achieve. So, my view, long term, I think there's gains in this. Really do, I think there's gains in this. Huge gains. But you've also got to look at the long-term effect of what will the market be like in a few years' time. How will it move? How will, like, obviously the likes of derivative exchanges change the way the market moves? How will regulation potentially come into the market and change the rules? Take what you can, when you can, profit on it, and be gracious in what the market gives you. And I mean that. Why? XRP could moon. It could go up to $2-3 again in any sort of bull run environment. Easy, right? If that happens again and you've bought at these levels, for God's sake, take profits, because if it comes down, you're probably going to hit another one of these slumps again. I think the market in crypto will run like that for the next 10 to 20 years, in my opinion, on altcoins. I think they're not going to just keep going up and up and up and then staying up and then coming back up, continue. Look at Bitcoin, 20k, 3k, back up to 13k, back down to 3k, back up to 10k, which is where we are right now, give or take 8k, whatever. And then we could be going back down again. They're still in a bearish formation. Why? Adoption hasn't happened yet. But there you go, my viewpoint. I hold a little bit. I think the risk of not holding is too much. I think it's definitely at these levels, you might as well just take a quick punt on it. If it moons to like 50 cents in a matter of 2 months, you know, you've literally tripled your money almost. Why not? Give it a go.